All right. Well, listen, I got a question for you today.
All right.
And by the way, guys, welcome. This is goldballhunting.com. I'm Brent Abel. The good-looking guy over there is Jeff Jacklich, and we are here to help three types of players. Number one, we want to help those guys and gals who are playing tournaments, whether you're playing the national level, regional level, local level, but you're stuck at a certain round, whether that's the first round, the second round, or maybe you're getting to the quarters, but you just cannot get past. You just can't get past that round. We want to help you guys bust through to the next round. Competitive league players, you guys and gals who actually are solid at a certain rating label, whatever that number is. 2.5, 4.5, somewhere in between, 5.0, whatever it is. We want to help you. If that's what you want to do, get a new rating label, jump up. Or if you just want to win a higher percentage, wherever you're at right now, we want to help you do that. And maybe our favorite group is the third group, the guys and the gals who were, maybe not playing tournaments, maybe playing a little bit of league stuff, but they got regularly scheduled doubles matches week in, week out, maybe singles matches. And, it's a Wednesday night group of guys, and they love to get out there. There's a little trash talk, and that's kind of the fun part of it. But you're sick and tired of being the guy who's getting trash talked about the most, having to buy the beers at the end, who you're sick and tired of that, and you want to actually start dominating week in and week out. We're here to help you do that as well. So, Jeff, on that note, you're on the hot seat today, man. And
should I put a helmet and my safety goggles on, or is it?
It could get scary. Okay. There could be, there could be some debris flying around.
Shrapnel.
Yes.
All right, let's hear it. Hit me.
So one of the most common questions that I get, and I'm sure you do too as a coach, is how do I close out a set? How do I close out a match? And I'm up a break. I'm up 4-1, right? I'm up a break. I'm serving, and now the next thing you know is, and the old standard cliche is, well, the answer is, well, just keep doing what you're doing,
right?
And that doesn't work. At least it's never worked for me. And anytime I've given that advice, I always get the, come on, man, that doesn't work. You know it. I know it. So, and I'm kind of dancing around what I'm looking for here with you, but it's kind of like when we get ahead, and it's like it's almost like, all right, I'm ahead, man. I've kind of got this figured out. I think now you ought to participate by simply just give me the rest.
Right. Here. Right.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if this is part of the question, but it's like when we win the first set 6-0.
Right.
It's like the kiss of death.
It
right?
Can be.
It's like the Grim Reaper's now walking to the court going, you're now mine.
Right.
You're now mine.
All the voices start creeping in, right?
Yeah. So how do you, and maybe you got a story. Maybe you got a story of when you were up a break, maybe 2 breaks, or when you sort of had some different voices in it and it kind of fell apart, or how do you now as a player and how do you now as a coach help someone, hopefully keep going and not drop it and start thinking, I blew it.
Right.
I choked. I chunked it.
Yeah. Great question. Because this is the question brings up that this is an ongoing challenge. It's never this particular question is always live and in play. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So we've got the Wilson coming up right now next week, and it will be this idea, this emotion, this psychological challenge will be in play for everybody. So it's not something that you learn how to overcome and then it's gone forever. It always erupts at the worst times when you least expect it. It sneaks up, the voice, or a feeling, an emotion, and all of a sudden you have to deal with it. And it's there. It's right in front of you, and you kind of feel like everybody can see it. I mean, for me, it's like all of a sudden everybody can kind of feel the energy I'm feeling, and I wonder too, like, why am I feeling this energy? I'm up 4-1 in serving, and all of a sudden I'm not feeling confident because maybe I won 4 games and then just lost the last game, and all of a sudden there's this like weird little flip, this psychological flip, like, well, damn, I should be up 5-0 right now. What, what's going on? And so you have the voice in your head, or voices, depending on how many people are on stage in there, start to chatter a little bit. And so for me, there is a measure of, God, keep doing what you're doing. The challenge with that, though, is that when you're in this state of mind, you're kind of not sure what that was. You were doing something, and maybe it's just your opponent has finally warmed up. They finally starting to find their rhythm a little bit, and so it's not just simply your tactic was genius, and you were just hammering them home. It could be it's a cold start for them. They're just going a little slower today, and all of a sudden at 4-all, they found their rhythm a little bit. They put 2 or 3 extra balls in play on the points, and all of a sudden you found that you didn't break their serve.
And the 2 lucky let cord winners that you had on break point,
yeah,
they're not there again.
It didn't happen again, right? So there's so many subtle variables that change the energy on the court, and the challenge, the discipline is not to allow that to take over your emotions and psychologically, how you're dealing with it. So for me, it's about being clear about my next move. Where am I serving? Why am I serving it there? And what's my plan? Simply to move myself into execution, and not, I'm up 4-1. I got to close this out. I got to get out of here now because I can see he's starting to come online. Or I go, oh gosh, he hit that ball back. He hasn't hit that one back the whole time, right? So for me, it's clarity and reestablishing my own inner voice about my plan, execution of that plan, and taking the time to set up and not rush through the game, right? So a quick example is just literally 2 days ago, I'm having a practice session, playing a set, and literally I'm up 4-0. And I lose the next game. And it was the weirdest thing. I mean, this is a practice set, and I'm feeling this emotion. And part of it, I'm sure, as I'm getting ready here for the Wilson next week, I'm kind of hyped up a little bit. My practice sessions, I'm really trying to squeeze a lot out because of the rain, so I'm not getting on the court as much. So I'm not panicking, but, I have concerns about making sure, how I'm going to perform. And all of a sudden, there I am. I'm standing there setting up, and I go, God, this is weird. And I literally stepped back off the line for just a quick moment and just literally had to say some things in my head, like, listen, you got this. You're good. Just do, you own this. You own. Serve. Serve there. Look for this play. Blah, blah, blah. I can't remember exactly, the tactic I used, but all I did was do the work. I got myself back to do the work. And, I held serve. I think I may have even lost the first point. But I think I held serve at 15. And that, again, then kind of brought my confidence back up to where it was the first 4 games. And then I closed out the set at 6-1 while breaking serve. But there's this moment that snuck in. And
I think what happens, as you're talking, and when that advice is thrown out there, well, just keep doing what you were doing. And one of the things that you were doing before, as you built up to that lead, whatever the lead is, you're up a break, is you really weren't considering the past, and you weren't considering the future in terms of, when it's 2-0 or it's 3-0, you're not really thinking about the finish line of winning the set.
Right.
And yet, when you get close to the finish line, now we start thinking about the past, as you just described. Well, let's see, how did I get here? Oh boy, this guy's starting to catch up, and then you're starting to think about the future, which is, I got to get there. I can smell it, I can taste it, I can feel it, but I got to get there. Now, all of a sudden, you are not doing what you were doing before, and I think too often when that advice is given, it's like, well, tactically or strategically, what were you doing before? And so for me, what I have to discipline myself to do is I've got my own 4-part between points routine. And I have to start that thing from the very first point. And for me, it's one of the parts in between is I consider, how am I going to start this next point? And that's exactly what you said, is you stepped back and you said, look, forget everything. I got this. What do I want to do tactically here to start the next point? We're not thinking about, well, what am I going to do here to play this point so I can win, so I'll be up 5-1 and do this, and then I'll be closer, and then the guy will give me the next game, and then first set's done. All you're doing is you are disciplining yourself between points to not think about the future, number one. You could think about the past in terms of that might help you come up with a strategy or tactic for how am I going to start this next point. You know, if you've been serving to the guy's body and now it's 40-15, maybe it's a time to show him something different.
Right.
And that's based on the past, but that's not based on this is what I'm doing to win. This is not doing it to yourself.
It's not a random selection like, hey, maybe I should mix things up now. It's not this ethereal random thought like, hey, I got a good idea. Let's try this. And you're reaching into the toolbox and you don't actually have the tool that you think you should employ, but you do it anyway. That's not what we're talking about here at all. This is about really understanding, your own skill set, reaching into the toolbox and grabbing those tools that you are most confident with, that you have the most trust in, and that you will swing the freest with. Part of closing out a match is, like you said earlier, not serving, hoping, praying, and wishing, those three, that they just miss the ball in the net or they hit it out for you, that they're just going to gift this match to you. Yes, that happens sometimes, and those are great. I mean, those are great things. Oh, thank you. He just hacked 3 balls on the return, and he just dished up the last one. I came in and volleyed it into the open court, and it was easy as pie. Yes, those happen, but we're talking about getting over the hump here. Gold ball hunting is all about, how do I break through that first or second round or 16s to quarters and get through that? And these are the things that creep up that get in the way. And so you have to know, what are your tools in your box that you're most confident with, that you trust the most, and that you will feel almost obligated to take a responsible swing at the ball, not just poke it over into the, I'm going to use my patterns, but now I'm poking the ball through the patterns. So my ball's going over the net 10 miles an hour slower. It's landing 5 feet shorter in the court. But I'm doing the pattern. Well, no, you're not. You're not respecting how you got to this moment in the match. And the way you're going to finish this match is by respecting those things you have confidence in your toolbox and executing on those things.
That's good. That's good. I think what you're talking about, you and I are talking about the same thing, is that we've got to stop. We've got to stop living out in the future. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I remember I worked with Michael Wayman for a little bit when he was still
great player, great tennis mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were working on the slice backhand approach. I'd get a ball and too often what I was doing is, just before I made contact, my mind was going into, well, what if?
Right.
And what if? And so I was projecting out in the future in terms of well, what if he knows I'm going there? What if I hit it and the guy goes over there and rips across court winner? Well, what if? And there's all these things. And so what happened is, I wouldn't execute the shot to the best of my ability time after time. So he convinced me that, look, first of all, Brent, you have the ball. It's yours right now. And he can't do anything until you do something with it. Right? And so you actually get to take your time. You don't have to think about the future. You get to live in the moment. You get to live in the present. And you get to execute this thing with as much time as you want.
Right.
So, idiot man, stop living out there in the future. And, Michael could be a little rough. And
he's to the point.
Yes. He's one of the sweetest guys out there, but
yeah.
he was very definite.
And a wicked backhand slice.
Oh, well, the whole game was so.
Wicked.
So, I think that was one of the things and actually, I worked with him in 2009 when he was still at St. Mary's out in Northern California, and it was that shot in the finals of the 2009 hard courts that I won, where I won my first singles gold ball. That I remembered there were like 3 or 4 of these shots that we had worked on. Yeah. And if I hadn't worked on that shot with him, where I just said, oh boy, I have the ball. I get to do with whatever I want. I get to stay with this thing as long as I want. And I felt it, and sure enough, I played the good shot, and it didn't come back. And I went, Michael, wherever you are, man, thank you.
Right.
But it's true. I think when we get up a break and we don't close it out, a set or even a match, and we get in that third set and we're up 5-3 serving.
Right.
Boy, the voices can just be going, you're just salivating for that shake hands thing. And so for me, it's staying disciplined to my between points routine. And so I would encourage everybody, find a routine, and I'm happy to share it with you, but do something between points where it doesn't make you think about the future. It keeps you in the present, and your strategy or tactic, one of the parts is, how are you going to start this point? When you're serving, hey man, first serve, I'm going there.
Right.
And we'll then take it from there, but we don't know how the end result's going to be.
Right.
Or I'm going to take it out wide, and please just miss it.
Yeah, just hack it, please.
Right. Or if I'm returning, I might.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, if I'm returning serve, I might be thinking, all right, well, he's been serving me most of the time here, so if he does, let's just play it right up the middle at him.
Yeah.
But if he goes somewhere else, let's just play it right up the middle at him.
Right. So actually, speaking to that, right? So there were a couple games in this practice set a few days ago that I broke my opponent, but I came out in 2 games that they served that I lost the first 2 points because I missed the return. And and it was God, and so I had to corral myself there. Listen, Jeffrey, there's absolutely no reason to overplay the return. And the serves weren't something I couldn't handle.
Right.
They were kind of juicy, kind of there, and I got a little greedy, and bang, there it is. And I settle down, get to it, and I ended up winning those games simply because I got back to business. I got back to, listen, there's your target, there it is, put it there. And I took some pace off the ball. Still hit my strokes, though. Again, I'm going to keep coming back to that. You've got to keep taking your cut at the ball to hit a high-quality ball to a safe target. So the minute I did that, all of a sudden, that's 30 all. And I'm feeling confident again. There I go. I'm back in it again. Okay, let's do it again now. Don't stray. Don't think, okay, now I'm going to take this return and go bigger. Nope. Pound it up the middle of the court. There it is. There's my opportunity. And then all of a sudden, I break twice on 2 service games that I was down 30 love. Trying to break serve. So it works both ways, serving and returning. That we can't again get off script, and we've got to get back to what's the plan and execution of the plan, not just again bunting the ball into these areas, because that's not what we're talking about. So
good answer. Darn it, I was hoping to kind of freak you out and stump you with a question today, but that did not work. So, all right. Well, listen.
That was good. That was a good question, though.
All right. All right. Cool. Well, listen. I hope everyone got some kind of a nugget out of this today, and I guess the one takeaway I would hope everyone would kind of hit on would be, yeah. I mean, guys, don't think out in the future. You
Right.
got to take care of business in the present to be able to eventually get to where you want to go. And too often we just go, I don't know, man. I want it so bad. I want that thing that's out there that.
Right.
So anyway,
Yep.
guys, thanks for hanging out with us today. But there's one more thing, or maybe there's four more things, maybe five more things we want them to do. This is your between point routine, Jeff. First three things.
Like us, share us, subscribe to us.
Outstanding. Boy, that was good. That was good. That was delivered with a lot of confidence. I like that. And then the fourth thing would be, guys, if you have any questions or comments on today's episode or anything else that's going on with your game, right down below in the comments section. Let us know. We love to read and respond. And if you want to email us, the email is down there as well. And of course, the other thing is, if you still have not yet picked up a free video that we've done for you on how to build confidence, it's private, so you do have to get signed up for you, or sign up for it, but it is free. The way to do that, goldballhunting.com, or there might be a link down below the video. Just click it, put in your first name, email address, and what you're going to get is a video that Jeff and I recorded recently on how to help you build confidence. And really, the way that we think that you can build confidence is to take your current skill level range, which may be one day here, and the next day, thunk, it's down here, right? And so what we're going to help you do is we're going to help you take the bottom range and get it closer to the top. So day in, day out, whenever you go out and play, whether it's singles and or doubles, that you really know exactly how you're going to play that day. Maybe not always at the very top, but not far off of that. And
Right.
once you get there, once you bring the bottom of that skill level range up to where you have a tiny skill level range, that's when you're confident. And that's when, if you want, you can start to build and go up to another level. So on that, JJ, any parting words of JJ wisdom that you want to lay on us today?
I'm going to steal yours, man. Get out there and help somebody else have a great day.
Awesome, beautiful. All right, guys, we will chat with you again tomorrow. Thanks, Jeff.
You bet.